Mr. Wale Alabi. Like I said, one of those people who actually brought us into journalism way back here in Kaduna. Of course, a veteran journalist. He made me to also fall in love with Nigerian League, and he has been there. He's still there, and of course, we're actually learning from him. Mr. Wale Alabi, you are welcome to our Nigerian League stories on 3M Sports Channel. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Vincent, and good morning, Samuel. How are you?
Yeah, that's Mr. Samuel Emmanuel.
How are you both? How are you doing? I hope you are fine.
We're fine. And
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay, good morning. Good morning. Okay.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. So, well, we've missed you so much here.
Okay.
You know, you're doing great in Ibadan, and of course, looking at the league, you're somebody who has followed the league for so many years, and I know you can say a lot about how it was in the past and how it is right now, and the things that we need to do to make it better, which is the reason why, of course, this channel was actually created. Well, before we go into all that, 32 matches were played. A lot of people were saying, okay, 3SC, for them to be sure of getting a continental ticket, they must beat Ikorodu in Ibadan. And of course, a lot of people actually put eyes on that particular match, and of course, in there goalless. But a lot happened in that match. We saw the clips. We're playing the clips right now of buses being vandalized, attacks. And before that, then last 2 weeks, we saw Tornadoes having issues with 3SC, where Dosu was actually was said to have been punched, and some people said the mouth was red oil. Some said it was blood. So, and those who supported 3SC that period are now backing up and saying, okay, they had known the likely left 3SC to be on their own. Now they are saying that 3SC fans attacked Ikorodu bosses, and they did a lot of things because they could not pick the 3 points. What really happened in that match, Mr. Alabi? Hello, sir.
The match itself. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Eh?
Yes, we can hear you.
I said the match on the pitch. The match on the pitch was brilliant. It was a good testament for Nigerian Football League. Ikorodu City FC did as much as possible to, in fact, they dominated the game. First half, they were in charge throughout, and they really put Shooting Stars on the back foot most of the time. Second half, they stepped down on their game a little bit, and then when they stepped down, of course, to defend what they had, and at that time, Shooting Stars came out very well, but they now had. Second half was actually balanced between the two sides, and at the end of it, it ended goalless. But now, what happened at the end of the game is an ugly thing for Nigerian football, and it's not a good thing because I was there till even the last people left in the stadium. I left the stadium after 9 because normal.
I think we've lost. We can't hear you.
Okay. Fans, I mean, they were going to deal with any one of them. But at that point in time, what some of us were getting is that, okay, no, they wanted only the management of Shooting Stars. This is the players couldn't, because I remember when they now had to leave that place in police uniform. In police uniform, because they had to whisk them and move them into the Ikorodu City Football Club bus, because the fans were still outside. They are waiting. Of course, the information getting to those people within the team, the match commissioner and the other part of the organizers was that, oh, outside you cannot go there. So in the long run, they felt, because the Ikorodu City people were already agitated, that look, we need to leave this place. We can't continue to be here. So they now said, okay, fine. What you need to do is that let's find a way to remove them, to take them out of this place. So they now put them in a Ikorodu City bus, as well as the referees. The referees were in police uniform. Quite all right. And at the end of the day, I think some minutes after 9 p.m., that was when a number of soldiers came. They came in 5 Hilux vehicles. But by that time, they had already scared away the fans, because by that the police had done a good job of pushing them away at that point in time. So there was mayhem, quite all right. And it was not a good thing for Shooting Stars' ambitions, because as it is, they are going to be sanctioned. There's no doubt about that. Let's not what do I say now? Let's not kid ourselves about that, because from the way it happened, the report from the match officials certainly should put Shooting Stars in trouble.
And that like definitely the ambition.
These are things that happen. It's not as if it didn't happen. Nobody can say it was manufactured. See wire. Simple.
Well, looking at the table as it is right now, we still have a lot of people thinking Enyimba, of course, will self-pedal for Abia Warriors, so that Abia Warriors will consolidate on the ambition of picking the third position. But like Enyimba also said, they're also ambitious. I think that was a good one, because a lot of people felt that Abia Warriors will.
Yes, they too want to.
So, and as it is right now, if you have to stick your neck out of it for a team, I'll pick the third position to go continental. Which of the teams, Abia, 3SC, Ikorodu, Rangers, you think will pick that slot?
You see, I have a soft spot for Shooting Stars, because that's the club I've been supporting since I was a kid in Ibadan here. And but when I look at the table and I look at it, because Ikorodu City, they have a match at hand. Yes, their opponent, Katsina United, they're playing on Wednesday. The opponents are in danger zone, quite all right. But Ikorodu City, with what I saw Ikorodu City play yesterday, if the same thing they play, they will beat Katsina United. And they will now move above Shooting Stars. Because they're on 46 points already. Shooting Stars are on 48. So Ikorodu City will move to 49. So when they move to 49, now they will be contending with Abia Warriors. Abia Warriors are on 50. Now, I've watched Abia Warriors once, and but with the way I'm seeing Ikorodu City playing, I think Ikorodu City are likely to be the one, because Abia Warriors have the advantage now. So they will fight to, if they maintain the form they are in, they can get it.
And like for me, on the other side, you know, the way Remo is stopping, and the two private teams in the league, Remo and Ikorodu, you know, I've always been a supporter of a private club ownership, and it will be fun to see two private clubs representing Nigeria in the continent next year. So that's where the sentiment of Ikorodu is actually coming for me. Although, like you said, also 3SC is the club I've been supporting for years, you know, and for the way they behaved of recent, I think I'm beginning to lose interest.
No, you see, it will be good to have both Ikorodu City and Remo Stars coming third and fourth now, as it is. You see, it is good to encourage those who are the private owners. And again, you will see that the management of these clubs appears to be better than what we are seeing at the government-owned clubs. Yes, because most of the government-owned clubs are not proper, because Shooting Stars' problem yesterday was poor management. Yes. Because you were aware that Ikorodu City were going to come, you were aware that you need this point, you were aware that you have been dropping from, at the time they were second.
Yes.
Now you've been dropping down to about fifth, sixth, and that. So you know that you need that game. So the fans will be agitated. The fans are poorly educated. So they should have taken a lot of measures. Yes, they said that the referee, a woman, one from Layo, from being a good one. But then, look, that's when you play your game on the pitch, and then you're like the backup that they got. Ordinarily, 50 security men are supposed to be at a match. Yes. No, 50, yeah, probably they had 50. But when you notice that they always put on standby, that if there's a problem, They'll call them. So once that problem was there, and you know the implications, then that's when you call for the backup, no matter what it's going to cost you. Because right now, it's going to cost them close to about 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 million naira to pay fines. And if they don't get points deduction.
Yeah.
So these are things. So, but when you look at Remo Stars, I've been to Ikene, I've watched the way they organize themselves. Look at Ikorodu City. Yes, they've just come up, but they have been doing well in terms of organization of themselves. And that is one thing that you have to give to them. So you see serious-minded people. So if it's going to be Remo Stars and Ikorodu City that will represent us next season, fine, no problem. You see, one would have loved teams like Eyimba, Rangers, Shooting Stars, because of the experience, exposure, and tradition.
Yes.
But if they cannot manage it very well, why won't we have those who can do it? And we need to encourage privately owned clubs too, because it is when they go out that the owners will be very, very confident that, look, I can put more of my money to make more money. If you look at what is there in Ikene with what Remo Stars management, the owner has done in terms of facilities put in place, even clubs that have been long-standing, they don't have that. They don't have that.
They've had the money
because
to
when you talk of Rangers, you talk of Shooting Stars, you talk of what are the facilities they have as good as that? They can't even play Continental there next season. You must put in place good infrastructure.
The problem is all the money that these clubs are making are not really being put in place to build up a structure, because those funds don't possibly come directly to the club account. That's the problem with government clubs. It goes to the pocket of some government officials. Yes, I can say that anyway. And if that's why there's need for the league board to control to ensure that money in football circulates within its system for they call it financial sustainability.
You see, I agree with you. Totally. But I blame the league organizers and the public generally, because you need to put in place. Why do we have FFP in Europe? Why do we have those regulations? They monitor what you do. All these clubs, what they claim, you are into auditing. Do they audit their accounts? Do they audit their accounts?
I'll talk about this with you next week.
What do they come up with?
It's sad. I think from our side, we heard that some government officials from the top, they stop the league board from doing the right thing. That's why there should be education to even the president, to the sport council. Let them know that they should stop the government officials from giving directives to the league board in taking decisions that will favor these government clubs. Because that has been the problem. Some of the league boards wants to work, LNO, LNL, MPFL, but the government officials
you see because of the corruption that we have all this AGM tomorrow. Host a program. They go to when they listen to them, because they want to host AGM and it's going to cost millions. They will go to the state governments and they will now have to bend over backwards for them. That is the corruption that we have there. But meanwhile, the game.
Okay, go on, sir.
Yeah.
You can go, sir.
It is because of this kind of thing that at times a lot of things don't work in terms of enforcement of rules. Because if you need to do that, you will see that you can't do a number of certain things. Some clubs will have to. The same thing, if you go back to the issue of football pitches that are World Cup compliant. You know, after the 1999 World Cup, under 20 World Cup that we hosted, they said those 8 stadia in the country will be used for league matches. Yes. But in the long run, they allowed some clubs to twist them and the state governments, and they now said, no, they can play. And they started playing in facilities that are not really good. And that was how we killed that idea. Because if we had done that, we would have seen a number of good facilities in the country. But where are we today? It's because of all of these things now. You see, it's a long story. We can't be talking about it all the time here.
We'll come next week and we'll look fully into financial regulations with you concerning financial fair play, financial sustainability, how we can make our clubs, of course, be able to start making profits, look at the turnover side, and also to ensure that money circulates within the football sector and how it can also grow as a sector on its own in terms of business. I think we'll look into that with you come next week. Thank you so much for coming on this program. We appreciate all your contributions, and I tell you, we'll see you back on next week.
Thank you.
Yes, that was Mr. Wale Alabi, a veteran journalist, of course. He has been covering Nigerian Football League for more than 30 years. And of course, will tell you the A, B to Z of Nigerian Football League, the problems and the way forward. And I think some people need to be brought into the system so that we can move forward, to make our league all the best in Africa and in the world. I think